Welcome. I'm Gina, and we're going to be doing some very gentle movements and some meditation and breath work today. And we'll start just by observing where we are in space, how our body is, and getting super comfortable. So think about where your feet are if you're sitting, and make sure they're uncrossed and comfortably on the floor. And then think about your knees being over your feet and your hips being behind the knees, and just making a nice solid base, something again that's comfortable, that's easy, somewhere that you feel like you can sit for a while um, and really feel okay in your body. And so that might mean leaning against the back of your chair, and that's fine. Sometimes people think they have to be really tall and rigid when they're doing meditation or breath work, but it's much more important that you are in a relaxed, comfortable position. You can also do this lying down, that's fine, or on a yoga mat or on a bed. That's really up to you. And then we'll just relax the shoulders. And one way to do that is actually to tense them up first and bring them up towards the ears and feel the tension in your arms and your neck, and then let it all out. And we can do that a couple of times. First, introducing tension and feeling what it feels like to have tight, constricted muscles, and then releasing it all and letting things be loose and flexible and free. And feel free to do one more of those on your own time. You can even let it out with a sigh if you like, out the mouth. And just really wiggling and feeling, what does your body feel like today? And it's nice to have your head over your spine so that you're not straining your neck by having your very heavy head too far forwards. So sometimes that means tucking the chin back or moving the head back a little bit. To some people, if you are hunched forward a lot, it can almost feel like you're leaning backwards when you're actually upright and in alignment. And then if it feels good for you, close your eyes and really feel into your body. And if closing your eyes makes you dizzy or that's just not comfortable for you, you can simply lower your gaze, make your eyes go a little fuzzy, or find a dristi, a single point of focus, just something so we can bring our attention inward and really pay attention to what's happening inside our body rather than all of the distractions and things that are happening in the world around us. And with your eyes closed or your gaze lowered, we're going to really feel our body in space. So visualizing what's beneath you, the floor. Maybe you're like me and you're upstairs and there's a whole story of a building beneath you. Or maybe it's the floorboards and then the earth, and that's what's beneath you. Visualizing this sturdy base that's holding us and supporting us. And where's your body in space? So for me, I'm sitting in a chair. So there's empty space beneath the seat of the chair, between the seat and the floor. What's in front of your body? Can you feel to the side, to the right side of your body, to the left side of your body? How much space does your body take up? And then we often ignore our backside since our eyes are in the front, and since we're often moving in a forward direction. A lot of times we just ignore our backside body. Take a moment to scan your back and really feel into what's happening behind you. Where's your back in space? And once we've oriented ourselves, we feel secure, we feel comfortable wherever we are, then I'll invite you to take a look at your breath, just observing the breath today, in and out through the nose, if that's comfortable for you. But if it's not, if you're stuffed up, it's no problem to breathe in and out through the mouth. It's more about the awareness rather than the specific technique. It's about observing with self-compassion and noticing how the breath is moving in your body today. And I'll invite you to take some really big breaths, especially if you haven't done any big breaths today. Breathing all the way in, filling the lungs, maybe filling the belly, letting the belly swell, letting the diaphragm engage. And then just letting them all out slowly. Long, slow exhale. And we'll do 2 more like that. A big, deep inhale. And a long, slow exhale. And then 1 more in your own time. And then continue using that belly breath, breathing deep into the lungs, engaging the diaphragm, letting the belly rise on the inhale and sink on the exhale, and feeling your ribs in space as they expand and contract. Maybe practicing breathing into the backside body, letting the back ribs expand and contract as you inhale and exhale. And if you like, set an intention for our time together. It can be as simple as following along, staying present, coming back to the breath every time the mind wanders, because the mind will wander and that's fine. It's not about keeping the mind from wandering, and it's not about stopping the thoughts from coming into the brain. It's more about coming back to the breath every time, letting the thoughts pass, accepting we're going to get distracted, and then saying, that's okay. When I get distracted, I'm just going to come back to the present moment. And once you have your intention, send it out to the universe. Let the universe help conspire to make it so. And today we are going to talk about the third eye chakra, which is one of the energy centers that run down our midline, kind of in the center of our head, between the eyebrows. This is an energy center that is associated with our intuition, our perception, our destined path, or what we're supposed to be doing, when we feel like we're most in alignment or most congruent with what our heart wants and what our gifts are to bring to the world. So as we've been thinking about the external space, the space around us, in front of, behind us, and to the side of us, and then we started thinking a little bit about the internal space, our lung capacity, as our lungs expand and contract, and as our belly rises and falls. I'm going to bring the attention to the inside of our head, between the eyebrows, in the middle of the skull, concentrating on this energy center. The color associated with this is indigo, like a blue-purple color. So if it helps, as you're visualizing the space inside your skull, in your brain, maybe you channel this color, bring it to mind, let it swell, let it grow, let it cover you in a beautiful blue-purple colored light. The pituitary gland is in the center of the brain, in this area, where this third eye chakra is. And the pineal gland is also in this area. And so when we're talking about consciousness and intuition and perception, a lot of times we can think about the actual physical anatomy of our brain, in addition to the ideas of the energy moving and our subconscious and our ability to feel or have this gut intuition, or the When things just feel right, like they're going in the right direction, or you have this, this feeling from outside that like this is the right path, or this is the thing that I should do. And we'll breathe into that middle of the brain, into that third eye center, and visualize your future. It could be this afternoon, the very near term future. It could be the rest of this year, the short term future. Maybe you're visualizing years or decades down the road. And it's okay if this is challenging. This is hard for some people, and that's fine. What are you doing? Who are you spending time with? What's your emotional state? How do you feel emotionally? And this is your visualization. You get to direct it. How do you want to feel? Who do you want to be surrounding yourself by? What do you want to be doing? Make it an ideal visualization. Some of the affirmations that we can associate with the third eye chakra are: I trust my intuition and follow my inner guidance. You can repeat that out loud or to yourself. I trust my intuition and follow my inner guidance. I'm open to receiving spiritual insights and wisdom. And that can be whatever spirituality means to you, whether it's a higher power or nature or of your own making. I'm open to receiving spiritual insights and wisdom. My mind is clear, focused, and sharp. And this can be a really tough one, especially if your brain feels muddy, or you feel like you have brain fog, or that you're going in a million different directions. But what we say to ourselves, which is why we put our affirmations in present tense, in a positive framing, our cells hear and believe, and the more we can tell ourselves, my mind is clear, focused, and sharp, the more we can live that, and the more that can become true for us. I'm open to new ideas and perspectives. I'm open to new ideas and perspectives. And finally, I am aligned with my higher self and inner truth. I am aligned with my higher self and inner truth. So come back to that visualization of your future self, whether it's yourself in the near term, the medium term, or the long term. And what's the very tiny thing you can do today to take one step closer to that version of yourself? Because we don't change overnight. Our mindset shifts every time by bringing the mind back to the present moment, or bringing it back to our affirmation. And we don't get strong overnight. We get strong over many, many days and weeks and months of working our body and working our muscles And these are incremental steps, and we fill the bucket drop by drop, and eventually it fills over time. And sometimes we don't even notice that it's filling. So why not fill it with self-compassion and with the things that we want for our lives? The sound that goes with the third eye chakra is Om. So I'll invite you to join me in chanting 3 Oms. You can also just listen, that's fine too. We'll start with a cleansing breath in and let it go. Inhale. And then I invite you to come back to your breath, breathing into the belly, feeling the lungs expand. And we'll do a body scan, but this time visualizing what's happening on the inside. Often when we do a body scan, we're thinking about the external, our skin and our appendages and limbs. This time we'll start at the top of the head and think about our brain and how it carries all of our thoughts and feelings, and our optic nerve that lets us see the world, our skull that keeps the brain safe and contained, the throat, both the esophagus that lets us eat food and the trachea that lets us breathe and speak. Our lungs that bring the oxygen into the body, the heart that pumps the blood to every cell, the liver that purifies the blood and takes out the toxins, and the kidneys, which do the same and help eliminate waste. The stomach, the small intestines and large intestines that help us digest the food that we eat. And all of the bones in our skeleton that give us support and structure and allow us to stand up and sit up and move, that protect our organs. And the muscles attached to those bones, the muscles in the neck and the arms, the muscles between the ribs and in the back, the muscles in the legs, and all the little muscles in the hands and the feet that allow us to grasp things and hold things and walk and balance. allow your chin to bow, feeling the stretch down the back of the neck. And then ever so slowly, tipping the head up, the nose towards the ceiling, to very, very gentle cat-cows, arching the spine and bending the back, bringing a little bit of movement into feet and hands. It can be so subtle that you hardly even see the movement. Maybe you're just gently pressing into each fingertip. And coming to a nice tall seat, pressing into the toes and pressing into the heels. And as you press into the toes, maybe the heels lift a little bit. And as you press into the heels, maybe the toes lift a little bit. And then moving the ankles a little bit, maybe windshield wipering the feet side to side or rolling the ankles, rolling the wrists in one direction and the other direction. Just nice, gentle movements. Where is your body in space? How is it moving today? And then rolling the shoulders up to the ears and back and down. And then switching directions, bringing the shoulder blades together, and the shoulders up to the ears and forward and down. And if you like, we'll do a gentle twist here. So looking over to the right, maybe using the left hand on the outside of the right thigh for a bit of leverage, and looking over the right shoulder, twisting the belly, twisting the mid-back, twisting the neck. Taking a deep breath in and sitting up an inch taller, and exhaling to look over the right shoulder, and then very slowly and gently coming back to center, and then looking over to the left, twisting over to the left, maybe using the right hand on the outside of the left thigh for a bit of leverage, inhaling to sit up a little bit taller, and exhaling to twist over the left shoulder. And then very slowly coming back to center. Observing how your body feels. Where are you in space? What's in front of you? What's behind you? What's beneath you? What's above you? And what's to the left and right? And then invite back your intention from the beginning of our time together. Thank that intention for coming to you today. Even if you didn't hold it very tightly during the entire practice, that's fine. That's not the point. The point is you're thinking of it now. You've got it tucked away. It's with you. And if your eyes are still closed, I invite you to open your eyes.